and all sentences are served in Jamaica, and prison conditions there are harsh. I'm sure that many of you felt that the Caribbean was very relaxed about drugs, but this is not the case. Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia and Iran can even impose a death sentence for some drug charges. Again, your travel insurance company may refuse to pay out if you're ill or hurt while using drugs, and your travel company or airline may refuse to fly you home on your booked ticket. So, some other drug tips. Do not take anything home for anyone else. It is easy to hide drugs in cuddly toys, clothing, footwear, etc. You are responsible for everything that you carry across borders. Holding it for a friend will not get you off. Pack your own luggage and make sure that the contents are secure if you have to leave it unattended. Carry a letter from your doctor or a prescription form for any medication that you have to take with you. I've already said that some prescription drugs may be illegal in other countries, so check and consult with your GP to discuss a short-term alternative. As already mentioned, Vicks inhalers are banned in Japan, and you can check with the Foreign Commonwealth website and other countries' embassies for up-to-date information.
What about my phone call? I want to call my family.
Too late now.
Please, please, please.
Step through now, please.
Oh, no.
Too late now.
Here's the goods. You take them in false bottom bag, you strap them to your body, it's up to you.
Look, I've changed my mind. I want out.
Too late now.
So, you're offering me a free holiday?
Yeah,
I just have to bring back something for a friend of yours.
that's right. You get some serious cash.
Right.
Well,
Not too late. Don't get talked into trafficking drugs. Once you're in, the British government can't get you out. Don't throw your life away.
You can follow me on Twitter @holiday_hut. So, to celebrate the show's 5th birthday and the end of the 5-year run, I'm reading the script from the very first show. My microphone stands a little bit sad about this being the last show, and it keeps drooping, and I keep having to push it back. So you may find the sound suddenly dips a little bit as the microphone moves lower and I have to push it back up. And not only that, it's just decided to chuck it down outside so there's rain battering the studio window. Anyway, back to the script. As I mentioned, the very first show was 50-50 talk and music. So if I start to stumble on the script, it's because I'm missing out the bit about the tune I just played. For example, I'm about to talk about teenagers going on holiday, and before I started this bit, I played Alice Cooper and School's Out, because yes, I was that cheesy. And the only thing that has real changed since then is now I have to wear glasses to read my scripts, whereas back then I had good eyesight. Oh, the wonders of getting old. Anyway, the exams are coming to an end, and some teenagers will be going on their first parent-free holiday. As well as being an exciting time, it can also be a dangerous one. Already this year, there have been 3 deaths in Ibiza, and another young holidaymaker has died in a police cell in Kenya after being stopped for a drugs offence. Teenagers and their parents should take some simple precautions before departure and during the trip to ensure that the trip isn't remembered for the wrong reasons. If a travel agent hasn't been used and the flights have been booked online, it's worth double checking the terms and conditions of the booking. Airlines have different rules on unaccompanied teenagers, and so you may need to make sure that your kids will actually get on board the flight. Also, check the latest security news for the airport, so you don't take the wrong things in your hand luggage, such as too much perfume and makeup, or some of the teenagers going through Luton Airport recently, hair gel. The passport is the most important travel document. If it's out of date, you won't be able to leave the country. And if you lose it while away, getting home becomes complicated. Passports should be checked at least 2 months before departure. Leave this any later and you run the risk of not getting the replacement in time, or you may have to pay for the premium express service. Having a passport that expires a day or 2 after you're due to return may not be enough, Some countries have a rule that passports must have at least 6 months left in them, or they won't let you in the country. You may also need a visa to get into some countries, so check before you book, as these can be expensive and time consuming. If you're refused a visa, you will not get your holiday money back. Don't be tempted to travel without a visa. If you do manage to get on the plane, you will be sent straight back home when you arrive, and probably after spending the night in the airport cells. For countries that you issue a visa on arrival, you may need blank pages, generally 2, in your passport, so also renew your passport if you're running out of spare pages or if the passport's fallen to pieces. It's possible that some teenagers may still be using a child passport, as these can be used until they expire, so in theory a 20-year-old could be travelling on a child passport. The advantage of having a child passport is that when it's time to renew, the traveller will get a 10-year adult renewal passport and not have to pay for a brand new application. If somebody has never had a passport, then they should allow at least 6 weeks for the application process, as a passport interview may be required. For more information on passports, search for passports at www.directgov.uk. If you need to replace your passport when you're away, then you will need to contact the nearest British consulate. You can find the embassy or consulate details on the Foreign and Commonwealth Office website, which is www.gov.uk/FCO. If your passport does get lost or stolen, then the first question to be asked by the police, you will need a crime report number, so you have to report it. And if also when you go to the consulate is, what is your passport number? So before any trip, scan your passport and email image to a web-based email account such as Hotmail or Gmail now, I guess. Then you can access your passport details from anywhere there is an internet connection. Don't forget to scan all the travel documentation along with your passport. The parents should have a copy of all this information as well. Of course, the scanned image cannot be used as a passport. I have been asked this in the past, but it will help speed up the process for a temporary replacement because you have all the information you'll need. Also, write the full details of your next of kin in the passport and take a second means of photo ID with you. Finally, leave the passport in the hotel safe and carry a photocopy around with you. The Foreign and Commonwealth Office offers a service called Locate, but they've since stopped this, which is a real shame because it was very useful, although I always signed up before I went away, it never got used. But basically, if it knew you were in the country and there was an issue, they could contact you and tell you about it. I'm going to be returning to teenage holidays later in the show.
Good morning, sir.
Hi, I'm checking in for my flight.
Lovely. Business or pleasure?
Holiday.
And where will you be staying?
With my parents, they live over there.
Lovely. Travel insurance?
Oh, no thanks.
Have you got travel insurance?
No.
Checked to see if you need any vaccinations?
No.
Checked out the local laws?
No, look. Why do I need to know all this? I'm just staying with my parents.
Is either of your parents A local lawyer, or the chief of police, B, fabulously wealthy, C, the owner of a private plane with its own fully trained medical staff, or D, none of the above?
D?
Lovely. Are you a superhero and in fact immortal?
Things can go wrong on holiday abroad, even if you're staying with family. So check it out before you check in. Find out more at gov.uk/knowbeforeyougo.
You can keep up to date with travel news and leave me a message at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. It's the Travel Show's 5th birthday. It's the 195th Travel Show with John Guinn on ukhealthradio.com. It's the 227th show in total. And to mark the occasion, I'm redoing the script that I did from the very first show. And sometimes you might think, well, what's he talking about that for? If you're just caught in the middle, and you find out, well, that's not just happened. Some of the news stories may be a little bit out of date, but as I go through this, it's amazing how much has stayed the same, even 5 years later. Before I continue with the script, I just want to say once again that if you're interested in doing a travel show, just do it. You're just talking to a microphone. You don't have to forget. You can forget about the people who are listening to you. When I did my first travel show, there was a audience number up in the screen, which is a little bit worrying. But you can just be sitting, talking to a microphone, telling people what you know, and asking people questions. And do give it a go, because you do get to meet people in your industry you might not have met anyway. As I say earlier in the show, that's what happened to me. So do give it a go. If it doesn't work out, you can just give it up, but don't regret not doing it. I know people from my time at my first radio station, they've moved on, been asked to leave, just like I was, for no apparent reason. And they're still going, different stations. It's a bug, you get it. And although this is my last travel show, I'm sure as part of my masters, I'll be doing a podcast for my hyperlocal website for the news in the Marston Vale area, which is in Bedfordshire, if you've no idea where that is. Well, anyway, back to the script from 5 years ago. During 2010-11, around 25% of UK holidaymakers went all-inclusive. For some, they booked all-inclusive for the comfort of having everything on hand at a fixed price, and for others it meant that there isn't an expensive bar bill when they check out. There are those who feel that going all-inclusive means that they will be locked up in a hotel prison, never getting to see the outside world. If you're travelling with kids, then an all-inclusive is a great idea. They'll be able to take on fluids when off-plan on their own, without the hassles of having to give them cash to buy expensive drinks after expensive drink. To me, this is a massive advantage of going all-inclusive. Drink. Now, I'm not talking about the falling down water, but just keeping your fluids up during the day. For one of my own trips, I worked out that to upgrade to all-inclusive was less than buying soft drinks all day. For one honeymoon, I worked on that drinking 8 Cokes a day for a 10-night stay was going to cost them $1,200 at checkout. If you look at it this way, then you shouldn't feel that you're wasting your money if you decide to eat outside of the hotel. Of course, if you are eating at the hotel, you can try new food, and if you don't like it, just ask for something else. If the portions are too small, just ask for more. I was with an American travel agent couple even, just before I started getting into travel, and it was an a la carte all-inclusive, and they just all the same on the menu they never had before. Didn't like it, said, sorry, we don't like it, can we have this instead? You'd never think of doing that if you were paying for the meal. But for some hotels, the food is a problem. So always research the service before you book, as in most cases the food is slop and serve buffet. Buffets do cause a fair number of complaints, and not just on the quality of food. No, a common complaint is queue jumping. Don't get upset if people cut the queue, just join in. All-inclusive holidays are not just for far-off locations such as the Caribbean and the Indian Ocean. It is becoming more common for an all-inclusive option at European destinations too. In fact, due to the increase in popularity, First Choice now only offer all-inclusive holidays. So where can you go and how much will it cost? I visited a popular website and I found the following holidays. I based a search on 2 adults and children aged 9 and 7 for 7 nights flying from London on the 14th of July. Turkey, Club Viva, Marmaris, a 3-star hotel, has a pool, but snacks are extra, and a double room is £2,339. Liberty Hotel, Lara Beach, 4-star hotel, it has diet and vegetarian options, snacks, 4 pools, and 2 AA a la carte restaurants, staying in a family room, £3,089. Don't forget, this is from 5 years ago. Cyprus, Nesta Hotel, 3-star hotel, has a buffet service and pool, staying in a family room, £2,927. Egypt, I'm not going to do the Egypt one because you can't really get there anymore. Spain, if you ever watched Benidorm, most of the filming is done at the Hotel Sol Palancas Orcas, which is a 3-star hotel. You'll get buffet meals, snacks, 5 pools, shows and a kids club, staying in a family room, £2,452. Hotel Club Puna Prima, 5-star, offering 2 pools, tennis courts, squash courts and a kids club, staying in 2 studio apartments, £2,939. As I say, all these prices are a guide only, and they are from 5 years ago, so some of the holidays may no longer be available for the departure. Please contact your favourite travel agent for more details. And back in 5 years, I did a comparison of the average cost of a third of a litre bottle of Coke. And in the supermarket it was 89 pence in Turkey, £1.35 in Cyprus, 35 pence in Egypt, and £1 in Spain. It's probably a lot more than